This is our Rushton Woods Preserve, and what stewardship at the preserve means is that we're stewarding the land for the habitat, but we're also stewarding our trails and our resources for all the visitors that come here. And since the pandemic, a lot of people have been coming to our preserves and enjoying it, getting out into nature, enjoying our trails and all the wildlife. But it's a management challenge because people want to come and explore, but we have a lot of nice areas that we want to leave wild for the birds and the other wildlife here. We get salamanders, we have foxes, owls, squirrels. The challenge that we have from the stewardship department is, you look around and you see plants, and plants are great. But when I look around, I see invasive plants and native plants. And invasive plants, they still provide food and habitat, but the quality isn't as good. Think about the difference of going to a really nice restaurant and getting a steak dinner and going to McDonald's and getting a quick burger. They both taste good, but that steak has more nutrients. And so birds, they need these native shrubs because the quality of the nutrients in those berries is far superior than the berries that come in the invasive. So in the stewardship department, we're trying to manage the invasive species, reduce things like multiflora rose, Japanese barberry, and things like that are outcompeting the native species. And then as we remove those invasives, we're trying to replant with the native species that the birds need to thrive. These days, there is a lot of development. From here to Philadelphia, they're always building more condominiums, they're building more apartments, and while housing is important, we have to think about housing for our natural friends. And so places like Rushton Woods Preserve, this is where they live. And so we need places like this so that we have the wildlife in perpetuity. Because if we take away their housing, they're not going to have anywhere else to go. And so preserving land is so critical. And beyond just our nature preserves, which are open to the public, we also have private landowners that have conserved their land, and it's maintaining habitat. They've agreed that in perpetuity, that land will never be sold to a developer. And so if they have nice forests like this, if they have meadows, if they have wetlands, those habitats are going to be protected and they will never be developed. And that is critical to the mission of the Willistown Conservation Trust.
One of the things that we do here at Rushton is strive to provide a resource for area landowners to learn how to promote healthy ecosystems with their own space. We really try and promote these habitats that people otherwise don't understand the value of. And then of course, even the rain garden at the Rushton Conservation Center is an excellent example of how we're collecting water off of the impermeable surface. Natives are planted within there. You see monarch butterflies and bees, hummingbird moths is just alive with pollinators, and that is another example of a habitat and ecosystem that people can support.
But then, as you can see, we have all these trails. We love equestrians, it's the history of the landscape, and they enjoy riding through. But horse hooves, they put a lot of pressure on trails. And so, in the last 2 years, we've been developing a master plan. And we're looking at our trails, we're looking at where the trails go, how they're sited, and we're changing them so that they shed water, so that they'll stay dry. And we're improving the trail tread, and we're putting down some stone and some fabric. And that way, when the equestrians come through, the horses aren't going to tear them up, they'll have a better experience. When the pedestrians come through, walking and looking at birds, they won't get muddy feet. And everybody is going to have a much better time here. And so, we work with volunteers, we apply for grants to manage the trails, to manage the habitat. And so, the stewardship is really critical to maintaining the land for everybody. This preserve is open sunrise to sundown. They can come 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's a place to rejuvenate. It's a place to step away from the busy technology of days and all the headaches and all the concerns. We welcome you to come here whenever you want and just enjoy being in nature. Listen to the birds, breathe in deeply all that good forest air, and just relax.